Hello and welcome to the Back Nine Report. My name is Carlos Torres, along with Fred Altvater. We check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Hey, we cover anything and everything golf. In other words, if it happened in golf, we have it for you. Fred, hi, how are you today? I know you're happy with the Super Bowl. It's over, but hey, how are you today?
Yeah, for me, Carlos, the Super Bowl every year is a little bit anticlimactic. I never really have a team in there. I guess I kind of was half rooting for Cincinnati just because they're from Ohio. And I've kind of followed Detroit over the years, and I always felt like Matt Stafford was a little bit better than what he got handed to him there in Detroit. So I was a little bit happy for Matt Stafford. I was excited to kind of to see Cincinnati in there. I figured they'd get beat by 2 touchdowns or more, and they really made a game of it. So I guess it all turned out pretty good. But Carlos, I also watched a little golf this weekend. The Phoenix Open was on. That's always a little fun to watch. Big crowds, a lot of activity, and there was a lot of excitement around 16 this year.
There was, and let me tell you, for those who don't know, I don't know if you don't know this, but it's all over the news because fans at the Management Phoenix Open were treated to a moment of history on Saturday because 32-year-old Sam Ryder made the 10th ever ace at the iconic par 3 16 hole there at TPC Scottsdale. Now, there have been a number of close calls throughout the third round. However, it was the American who provided that pivotal moment, holding his wedge shot to an absolute frenzy. Fans had been queuing since 2:30 a.m., okay, to get into their seats there at the TPC Scottsdale Coliseum. And let's just say they weren't let down because that ace from Ryder, the first in over 7 years. I mean, going into this event, let's put this into perspective. The Waste Management Phoenix Open distributor predicted to serve around 750,000 servings of beer. Now, what happened when that ace went in there? I believe about at least 10,000 of those 750 ended up spread across the 16 green. I mean, I can understand. I mean, the shot was rolling into the cup, barely any momentum. So the A's understandably sent the 20,000 fans surrounding the green into a meltdown. I mean, you could see the Coors Light mist appearing as beer was thrown from every direction possible. Obviously, you can expect the beer cans to be shocked, but you have to take your hats off really to the cleaning staff around the 16. I mean, they had the green and surrounding areas cleared in no time. But then also yesterday, Carlos Ortiz recorded another ace there in the stadium. That's 11. So it was back to back. And as he was high fiving his playing partner, Kevin Kisner, and his caddy, the fans again shower the players with beers and cans. Now, Carlos Ortiz says that one of those stray cans thrown in that celebration happened to strike his back pretty hard. That's his word. So, Fred, I have not seen yet the PGA Tour comment on the issue. Maybe they have, I haven't seen it. Or what steps do they plan to take, if any, to prevent this from happening at future events? But clearly, to me, this is just an injury in the waiting to happen. What if that beer can hit Ortiz pretty hard in the instead of in the back, it would catch his head, okay, or his face, or anybody else's. Have the PGA Tour let the fans go too far this time? I mean, I know in hockey when they do the hat trick, they throw hats, but that's just hats. This is beer cans, man. Those things thrown from where they are, those are really personal risk injury waiting to happen. So should they roll it back like they will do with the golf ball, or are we just two old guys whining about this?
Yeah, we're 2 old guys whining about it, but I got to think also that we're a little bit cooler heads talking about it as well. We've been talking about this for a few years. We're starting our 10th year this year doing this radio show, and we've talked about it every year. Fans who obviously were well served showered. I mean, they were whipping them and you're throwing beer all over everybody in the stands, and then they whipped the cans out onto the green and onto the course. They were obviously overserved a little bit. It resembled a severe tornado or a rainstorm or something like that. And so it seems that every year the rowdiness is becoming even more amped up. I don't get what they're thinking. Fans rush to claim their seats at this huge stadium-like seatings 5 hours before the first groups come through there. So that's a lot of time for a drink and frivolity. The crowd mentality takes over, and something like an exciting hole-in-one sends everybody into a violent frenzy. Can't anyone take ownership for their actions anymore? I don't get it. If I were there, I can't imagine ever even thinking about doing that. I just don't get it. This is troubling for several reasons. First, as you mentioned, it's dangerous. Ortiz said he got hit by a half-empty beer can. Should be happy he didn't get hit in the head. What if a player got severely injured from fans throwing refuse on the course? Big lawsuit, big lawsuit. Never hear the end of it. When Patrick Cantley's tee shot came up short at the hole towards the end of the round on Sunday, his putt came up woefully short. Did you see it? It hit one of the indentations. A beer can made it jump 2 inches in the air. Came up 4 or 5 feet short there. Never had a chance just because of a beer can making a hole in the green. Third, the cleanup holds up play. It took 10 to 15 minutes to get the debris off there so the next group could play and move on. This 16th hole at the Waste Management Phoenix Open has been synonymous with partying and raunchous behavior for years, but this seems to be a bit over the top, Carlos. Maybe for a hockey game, but seriously, a golf tournament, come on. I know I'm a bit of an old fuddy-duddy, but this is ridiculous on so many levels. It's all fun and games until somebody gets injured. This has got to stop before someone gets seriously hurt, Carlos.
Most definitely. I watched it and I was like, just fearing. And when it happened again on Sunday, I was like, oh no, this has to stop. I mean, even you see, the players are trying to celebrate that they're like high-fiving, they're enough. And it's okay if you roar. That's great. Even Carlos Ortiz says, that the vibe was excellent, amazing and all that, but he wouldn't be able to do this on a week-to-week basis. Even that energy that the fans bring, I think the PGA Tour has just let them go too far on this.
You know what, Carlos? If I were a PGA Tour official, when that happened on Saturday, I know everybody's feeling good and it's all up in the air, but if I'm a PGA Tour official looking at that, I may have considered clearing the stands and just getting everybody out of there. Because you couldn't just pick out 1 or 2 people for doing it, because thousands did it. There's between 17,000 and 20,000 people in that area. And there had to be at least 2,000 or 3,000 beer cans out there on the field. So I think I would have considered just clearing it. No more beer would be allowed in there, and maybe let the people back in after there was no more beer allowed back in there. Maybe if you're going to sell beer in there, maybe it has to be in a plastic container, a plastic cup. But it's completely out of control. They got to do something and do it quick.
I don't think they would go as something as drastic of clearing it, because to them that would be like that would form a riot with the fans.
Would you rather have somebody get hurt?
I know, but the thing is that you have to try to see how could you do it. I think your option of maybe doing it with a plastic cup or something like that really reduces it to really throw the liquid at some point. But
not
even
a plastic
then,
bottle, just draft in a plastic cup.
No,
Like
that's what I'm saying. Just a plastic cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Red
definitely
Solo cup. You fill me up. Let's have a party.
That can't fly too far. So
No.
anyway, but they have to do something about that, and the PGA Tour better come up with something, a statement that this cannot happen again, or else we will not allow anybody there, because like you're saying, that's a lawsuit waiting for it to happen. So Anyway, and the funny thing is I also was watching some of the tour, or maybe they were from the tournament employees there or the volunteers. They were just photographing the with their phones. It's like, oh, this is amazing. Oh, look at that. So great. No, that's where it starts. Stop. But anyway, we'll
That's the other
see.
point, not just the players. I don't know if you've noticed, but around, I've looked in there and there are several hundred people standing around the tee and around the green. I don't know what all those people are. I'm sure some of them are media. I'm sure some of them are tour officials and tour employees and marshals and rangers and all this stuff. But there's a lot of other people that standing. Some of those could have got hurt.
Yeah, anybody. So anyway, we hope that this is something that it was this year, and nothing else will happen. But as soon as the PGA Tour brings something, we'll be sure to add to this, because this is not the first time that we talked about something happening on the stadium there on the 16th at TPC Scottsdale. So Fred, anything else you want to add before we close this?
No, I really kind of I was fun watching that Sahith Thigala, who neither of us knew about. I couldn't believe we found somebody that you didn't know about. A new kid, had a heck of a career at Pepperdine, but he couldn't quite pull it off. He hit a great shot there at 17 at the short par 4, but it just rolled through into the water. He even pulled back and hit a hybrid, and he still hit it too far. But it actually rolled across the green. He hit it well, but just couldn't do it. But then the playoff went into when the Super Bowl started, like it has in the past. That seems like another thing that they need to get cleaned up for me. That happens a lot there. They have a playoff, and everybody's already switched over to the football. So they still got some issues with that Phoenix Open.
Most definitely, and congratulations to Scotty Scheffler on his first win there. Very well done over Patrick Cantley on the playoff. Anyway, fans, thank you for joining us. It's always our pleasure to bring you the latest in golf news and information. Remember to subscribe to our channel. It's going to be right at the bottom here. So thank you for joining us.